We're now joined by Texas Tech head football coach Joey McGuire on 365 Sports. What was Lubbock, Texas like this weekend?
Pretty crazy, man. Started out really fired up about playing the Big 12 opener, and then after the win, it got even more fun. So wild place. West Texas was a wild place this Saturday.
What did that game not mean to the overall program? I saw your post-game speech. We'll get into that. But just your players believing in what you've been preaching about them.
You know, one of the biggest things I think that you can do for a team, and then just as you know, your players in general, is believe in them and pour into them and breathe confidence in them, and then I think it helps them believe in what you're doing even more whenever they start seeing it and it's tangible. And they, you know, getting that win on Saturday, it starts to get them to understand, hey, you know, coach, if we do this, then we're going to have an opportunity to win. And so I think they start doing it more and more on a regular basis. It becomes a routine, and it helps them be successful.
All right, the game now you have coming up with Kansas State. We know what they did. We know what you did. How do you bring them back down? Did you see kind of a focus in them so far when you get a chance to see them this week?
Yeah, you know, we met with them yesterday. That was one thing that we really talked about. You know, I told them, I said, I searched and searched. I can find millions of quotes from businessmen, from, you know, athletes of how you handle failure. But a lot of times you can't find a lot of quotes of how you handle success. You know, and that's that honestly, to me, that's one of the hardest things to do, and one of the arts of learning how to handle success, because, you know, you're going to get everybody patting you on the back and, you know, telling you did such a great job. And I want them to enjoy it, but that's not what we want to be remembered for. And so how they focus this week and what they do. So what we've tried to do is just really focus on our daily schedule of being on time, of turning in all our assignments, of getting, you know, extra treatment if you're banged up, like all the little things. Make that your daily process of getting ready for this game. And you know, at the end of the day, if we don't go out and we don't, you know, do what we need to do and be the best that we can be, then this Texas game, again, will be what we're remembered for, and that's not what we want.
You were the River City Gambler with fourth downs. You mentioned that you kind of saw how that was done last year with Coach Aranda and his staff. And there are times when you're like, what are they doing, even during down and distance in your own territory? Is that something that you just feel like the analytics make sense?
You know, I did. I learned that a lot last year and 19, 20, and 21. But really 21 last year, I watched and learned a staff, you know, that really sold out to that. And, you know, there was so many things that, you know, last year we were put in some good situations because of it. And then you got to get both sides to understand, if we don't make it, this is kind of like who we are. And if we don't make it, then we've got to go play football. And so I think our guys are believing in it. I mean, I explain it to them. I want our guys to have the information of exactly what we're doing going into the games and how we're doing it, so they're not in shock and if something goes, you know, the wrong way. You definitely want to get in the better if there is a such thing as being in a better fourth down. You want to be in a better fourth down than what we were in North Carolina State. You know, we were just the time and the amount that we were down dictated that we had to be more aggressive at times on fourth down, on like 4th and 8, 4th and 9, stuff like that.
Donovan Smith has really done an amazing job since taking over. He's had some moments where a lot of guys would have gone into a fetal position with some tough plays. I remember the story he mentioned about his mother one time. He broke his finger and she didn't panic. She said, "Oh, look, you have a broken finger," and how that kind of helped him handle stress. Was that not perfect, but how incredible was he for you on Saturday?
Man, I can't say enough about Donovan being everything right in this world. In meaning, if you think about it, he wins the bowl game, and he wins the game to get us in a bowl game. Then he wins the bowl game, and then he comes out and he's not named the starting quarterback. And so many guys would have jumped in the portal right then. They had transferred. But it shows who he is. That week going into Murray State, he had a great practice all week long. And, and then we get Tyler hurt, and he's got to go in. And once again, we turned the ball over against North Carolina State. It's a mixture of a lot of people. But he could have right then, felt sorry for himself and not had a great week of practice. And he did. He had a great week of practice. And I just think the more you practice and put those practices together, you become a better football player. And he definitely, I thought Kitley had a great game plan. Donnie went out and executed it, and the team backed him up and played really, really well on Saturday. Is there a win when you were at Baylor that reminded you of the win you had on Saturday? I think I really think the 2018 Oklahoma State game at home, Denzel Mims catches the ball in the end zone. That I thought that was really a lot alike from the standpoint of that. 19 we beat Texas, 21 we beat Texas, and so those two games were a lot alike, but probably just for feeling that for the first time, it was probably 2018 when we beat Oklahoma State at home. I listened and watched your post-game speech, which has gotten a lot of attention. You made the comment, everything runs through Lubbock. And then you also said, if we do this, if we do that. But what you said, do you feel like maybe that message has not been said enough in Lubbock, Texas, or to the football program over the years? I just think so many times, what we talk about, we don't make excuses and we don't let other people make them for us. And I think there's been so many times for anywhere, there's a lot of different programs that do this. If they make an excuse of like, well, we can't do it because we're little old whatever, or we can't do it because you got to recruit here. And, what I'm trying to do, I believe in what I said, probably got some people fired up and bulletin board material and all that stuff. I was really speaking to my team, but my job is to breed confidence and breed that life into our players, that they believe that they can go out and do special things. And so, those were the comments, man. I really believe that. It's, these guys, if they do that, there's no reason whatsoever with everything that we have going on here, that we can't be as good as anybody in the country. And so we just kind of keep pouring into them and just keep these guys believing that way. And I think you see the way we're playing and the way we're fighting through games, they're really starting to believe in themselves. Well, you look at who you've played, right? And again, this weekend will be a tough test because of who you're playing. But when you look at your schedule as a first-year head coach, to have the game with Houston, which we knew would be close, and then to have the game with Texas because of the history there that Texas has dominated. And then, of course, the game at NC State, having one of their best teams in a long, long time. I don't know if you could be more battle-tested, can you? Well, I think this will be our fourth week, and I know it'll be let's see, we'll go Houston, North Carolina State, Texas, K-State, and for sure Oklahoma State, to where we're playing ranked teams. I don't see Oklahoma State, no matter what happens, they're not going to fall out. And so, K-State's a top 25 team that we get to play this week, and you turn around and play another one. So I don't know who's played 5 straight weeks of ranked teams, but, it's tough, but it's making us better. It's just continuing to grow this team and, making us closer. Joey, you are the ultimate, I guess you could say, positive person. Scott Drew is very much similar to that. When was the last time you had a tough day? When was the last time the day beat you? First of all, what's funny is the commentators, whenever I met with them on Friday, they literally brought up that Scott Drew and I are a lot alike. Just that positive and allowing our players to be themselves and kind of taking some pressure off of them and stuff like that. So it's really cool you said that. Man, I always I've heard different people say it before. You know, there's bad moments and not bad days, and you can't let those moments, you know, ruin your day. There's probably been a couple of days that, without a doubt, a couple of years ago, I had a rough one there in Waco, but you know, was able to overcome it because I got great people around me, and man, I love what I do. I mean, it's amazing. I've never worked a day in my life. I get up every single day, and I get an opportunity to work with players to help them become better men and you know, hopefully fulfill their dreams. And so if you love what you do, man, it's easy to get past some of those bad moments and continue to have good days.
Joey, hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you very much. Congratulations and good luck this weekend. We appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you, man.
Joey McGuire, head football coach at Texas Tech after the win against Texas on 365 Sports.